1400 BC, God in his faithfulness came to deliver his people from the hands of the Egyptians. He heard their cries and knew their sorrows. So he came to deliver them, to lead them out into a land flowing with milk and honey. The Egyptians were coming against God's people, and their magicians had a well-known trick. They would take a black snake and spin it around their heads until the blood would go to the brain of the snake, and the snake would go as stiff as a board. Then they would throw the snake down on the ground, and it would become alive again. This was a false trick done by their false magicians. Then God responded with a trick of his own. He told Moses to throw down a real staff of wood, and it would become a snake. And Moses' snake ate the other snakes of the false magicians right in front of Pharaoh. I could see Pharaoh saying something like, "That's a bad sign." This wasn't just a trick. It was one of the many miracles that God used as signs for his people. Moses was the leader of God's people, yet they were complaining against him because they had no food or water. Numbers 21 verses 7 and 9. The people came to Moses and said, "We sinned when we spoke against the Lord and against you. Pray the Lord will take these snakes away from us." So Moses prayed for the people. The Lord said to Moses, "Make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live." So Moses made a bronze snake and put it up on a pole. Then when anyone was bitten by a snake, they looked at it and they lived. God's people knew that anything hung on a pole was accursed. This was a sign and a warning to God's people. Therefore, God was cursing the snakes and giving his people a sign of deliverance and divine healing. Galatians 3:13-14 says, "Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. As it is written, cursed is everyone who is hung on a pole." John 3 verses 14-17, "Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up, that everyone who believes may have eternal life in him. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son in the world to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him." Jesus took all the sin and sickness upon himself. He took the venom of the snake bite. He took the brunt of the curse for us, just like the Israelites in the Old Testament, how they looked to the bronze snake on the pole and they were fully healed. In like manner, as we look to Jesus, we're healed fully every time.